Hello friends, welcome to this video. In this video we are discussing previous year question of as to LDC exam 2023 paper 2. This video will cover 20 questions from question number 21 to question number 40. So let's start with question number 21. An officer working in Reserve Bank of India has joined Ministry of Finance as economic advisor on direct recruitment basis. Under which one of the following conditions would the pay benefits of pay protection be admissible to him or her? So for this we have to refer to DOPT's OM or guidelines dated 14 September 2022. I have already opened these guidelines on the right side of the video. So the document is on pay protection on appointment to central government post on DR basis, that is direct recruitment basis. The question is also asking about direct recruitment. So the right answer is D, that the benefits of pay protection shall be admissible only if recruitment rules for the post to which he or she has been appointed prescribe a minimum number of years of experience in the specified area from RBI for appointment under the method of TR, irrespective of whether the post is filled by recruiting agency on the basis of interview or open competitive exam or combination of both. So if you go to para 1 para 2 and subpara A at page number 1, the condition of eligibility is exactly the same. So you can read this paragraph and you will come to know the right explanation for this question. So let's move on to the next question. So now this video will have most of the questions from fundamental rules, and for these questions we'll advise you to refer Swami's handbook, compilation of fundamental and supplementary rules, which is a very comprehensive book and covers most of the fundamental and supplementary rules along with Government of India decisions, court cases, references, clarification. So the question number 22 says that consider the following statements regarding the next below rule, which is also known as pro forma promotion. So to answer this question, you have to refer to Fundamental Rule 2022 on page number 96 of Fundamental Rules Handbook. It's a 2023 edition which we are using, which is the latest edition as on date. So statement 1 says that the next below rule is a rule of independent application. This is incorrect because the conditions have to be fulfilled in each individual case before action can be taken under this rule. Hence statement 1 is incorrect. Statement 2 says protection under the next below rule shall be admissible to more than one officer in respect of single official appointment in cases where a consecutive series of two or more officers in a cadre are on deputation to posts outside the regular line. So for this you have to refer to page number 97. Paragraph 34 reads that in some instances it has been noticed that claims have been supported for protection of more than one officer. Now the clarification has been given in this regard that most senior officer fit who is not debarred by the conditions prescribed for the application of rules shall be allowed the benefit under next below rule. Only the senior most officer will be getting the benefit. Hence this statement is also incorrect. Statement 3 says the benefits of under next below rule is not available to a government servant deputed to hold regularly constituted ex-cadre posts abroad. So to answer this, you have to go to page number 100 of this book. In para number 39 subpara 2, it has been explained that this statement is correct. Statement 4 says benefits under the next below rule may be allowed to officers working outside their regular line dispensing with the requirements of 1 for 1 and promotion of at least one junior subject to fulfillment of certain conditions. Yes, some conditions like when no junior is eligible for promotion despite vacancies. So benefits can be given under this rule. Again, this can be found on page number 100 in para 2. where benefits are allowed to officers working outside the regular line under the following conditions, like posts are unfilled due to want of approved person junior to the officer, and the vacancy caused in the cadre is not filled up by making promotion on ad hoc basis till the release of the next panel when some juniors become eligible for promotion. And this has been clarified by DOPTON number so and so on 15 July 1985. So you can go to the relevant page of this book and read in detail, because it's not easy to understand these complex rules in one go. You have to read it multiple times to absorb the substance of the rule. So only statement 3 and 4 are correct, hence the right answer is C, 3 and 4 only. Next question is 23. Again, it's on pay. Consider the following statements regarding fixation of pay under Fundamental Rule 22. Statement 1 says benefits of pay fixation under FR 22(1)(a)(1) will be available for promotion from Group B to Group A, even though there is no change in the scale of pay in cases of promotion from Senior Accounts Officer to Junior Time Scale of Indian Audit and Account Service. Now this is also uh, has been clarified through a GUI order. You can go to page number 108. Let me read out the relevant text for you. On 108 under FR 3022 in para 3, it has been explained that through a modification dated 1992, these benefits can be given for promotion from Group B to Group A. Next statement, a government servant getting 2 promotions in quick succession is entitled to benefits of refixation of pay from the date of next increment for each grade post under the savings clause of FR 22(1)(a)(1). So for that we have to go to same page 108. In para 4, it has been given clarification on regulation of pay in cases of 2 promotions in quick succession. So it is saying that the pay of government servant who in the event of first promotion has opted to get his pay fixed in terms of savings clause, but before the refixation of pay from the date of increment in the lower post he gets another promotion, his pay will be fixed with reference to the pay admissible on the date of second promotion. This means that he is not entitled to refixation of pay for the first promotion from the date of next increment. So again, this is a little confusing if you read it if you try to understand it in one instance or one reading. So he is not entitled to refixation of pay, and this statement is also incorrect. Now statement 3, re-employed officials discharged under Rule 5 of CCS TS rules, temporary service rules, are entitled to benefits of pay fixation under various provisos of FR 22. Now for this we have to go to page number 102 of this book. In para 42 subpara 1, it has been clarified that discharge of an official under Rule 5 does not amount to removal or dismissal from service, and on renewed employment there will be no objection to the provisions of the proviso of FR 22 being applied. And DOPT's letter number dated 28 November 1962 has also been quoted. So this statement is correct. Statement 4 says benefits of fixation of pay from the date of next increments is not available for promotion to a new post not involving assumption of duties and responsibilities of greater importance. So for this we have to go to page 51 of this book, and FR 22 is what question is asking again. It's a big rule. So some part has also been covered in page number 50 and last para number 2, that when the appointment to the new post does not involve assumption of duties and responsibilities of greater importance, he shall draw initial pay, which is the stage of the time scale which is equal to his pay in respect of the old post held by him on regular basis, or if there is no such stage, the stage next above his pay. And further in page number 51, it reads that on appointment on regular basis to such new post, GS will have an option to be exercised within 1 month from the date of such appointment for fixation of his pay with effect from date of appointment or with effect from date of increment in the old post. Hence, reading these two together will give you the right answers that benefits of fixation are available from date of next increment. Hence, statement 4 is also wrong. So the right answer is option A, 1 and 3 only, because statement 4 and 2 are incorrect. Next question, number 24. Consider the following statements in the context of change in the pay of a post. So this question is on fundamental rule number 23. For this, we have to go to page number 115 of the book. So fundamental rule 23 says that holder of a post, the pay of which is changed, shall be treated as if he were transferred to a new post on the new pay. So this is FR 23. Now statement 1 is saying that the holder of a post, the pay of which is changed, has the option to retain his or her pay until he vacates his post. So yes, just below the definition of FR 23, it is given that he can retain his pay of his old post. So this statement is correct. Statement 2 says the option to retain his or her pay shall be available only in case of downward revision of pay scale. Now we have to go to page 117 in para 2. It is written that the option under FR 23 shall be available to him irrespective of the fact whether the revision of pay scale is in upward or equivalent or downward direction. Hence, in all the three cases, he will have this option. So statement 2 is incorrect. Now statement 3 says the government servant under suspension shall not be allowed to exercise the option under fundamental rule 23. So for this we have to go to page number 284. Let me see what is written there. Now this is covered under fundamental rule 53 on page 284 in para 2. In case of suspension, two cases are given. That cases in which revised pay scale takes effect from a date before or prior to the date of suspension, and in other case the revised scale of pay takes effect from a date falling within the period of suspension. Now there are two cases. So in first case, where the revised pay scale takes effect from date before date of suspension, in such cases GS should be allowed to exercise the option under FR 23 even if the period during which he is to exercise the option falls within the period of suspension. He will be entitled to the benefit of increase in pay, if any, in respect of the duty period before suspension and also in the subsistence allowance for the period of suspension as a result of such option. Hence, government servant is given the benefit under this rule who is on suspension. So this statement is incorrect. Next statement 4. Pay fixation under FR 23 shall not be available where a revision of pay is concurrent with a specific change in the duties and responsibilities attached to the post. Now for this we have to go to page 116 again, FR 23. Now this clarification in para 1 of page 116 reads that since a government servant is entitled to retain his old pay during that period, his drawing of that pay under this option need not depend on whether he is actually officiating after the crucial date that the post which is officiating does or does not involve the assumption of duties and responsibilities of greater importance. Now the option, however, ceases to operate once the individual consent constructively ceases to officiate in the post or ceases to draw pay in the particular scale in which he was drawing the officiating pay. Hence, it means that when change in duties and responsibilities are involved concurrently, this pay fixation under FR 23 will not be available. So you have to read it multiple times to get hold of the substance of the rule. So statement 4 is also correct, hence the right answer is option 1 and 4 only, that is C. Next question is 25, which is a very repetitive theme, fee and honorarium. So consider the following statements regarding fee and honorarium. Statement 1 says payments by UPSC to non-officials for work done is not called honorarium. So kindly open page number 255 of this book. Now on page 255 para 2 says that payment to non-officials for work done or services rendered to the government. So CAG has given certain decisions. So it is saying that in a particular case, the remuneration paid to a non-official for some work done or services rendered to the government of India, no objection needs to be raised to it being called honorarium. Hence, it will be called honorarium, and UPSC is a government body, so giving services to UPSC is like giving services to government of India. And statement 1 is incorrect. Next statement says a government servant can retain the premium awarded for an essay in public competition without special permission from the government except as otherwise provided. So we will go to the next page number 257 under FR 48, which is any government servant eligible to receive and accept as otherwise provided by a general or special order of president to retain without special permission premium awarded for an essay or plan in public competitions, and some other rewards are also mentioned like reward in accordance with the provisions of any act or regulations or rules from thereunder or customs and excise. So this statement is also true. You can read other cases also on page 257 FR 48. Next statement is a government servant appointed in his official capacity as director on the board of directors of a private company in which central government funds are not invested can receive and retain travelling allowance from such bodies under their rules and regulations. So we think that yes, if he is director on the board, he should, but actually it is answered in page number 258 as a clarification. So the theme of the clarification is as follows. So the gist is that he will be receiving travelling allowance as per the rules applicable to him. Like if he is a director and officer, as per the TA rules of Government of India, he will be getting his TA, and whatever TA he has been given by that private company, he has to deposit that TA with the department, and that TA will be treated as revenue by the department and will be taken to government accounts under the relevant heads. You can read more on page 258. If this statement is wrong, he cannot retain the trading allowance. Next statement, a government servant whose duties involve carrying out scientific or technical research may obtain a patent for an invention made by him or her only with the permission of the central government. So for that again, it is given on Fundamental Rule 48A that a GS whose duties are to carry out such research shall not apply or obtain, cause or permit any other person to apply for or obtain a patent for an invention made by such GS without the permission of government. So sounds very ethical also, that if he is working for government, he should not take the credit of invention made by him. So statement 4 is true. So the right answer is option C, 2 and 4 only. Next question is on topic combination of appointments under fundamental rules. Consider the following statements in the context of combination of appointments. Additional pay is admissible to a GS who is appointed to hold current charge of the routine duties. This is the keyword in this question. Routine duties of another post in the same office as his own, in addition to his normal duties. Now, in this combination of appointments, lot of cases are there that it is in same office, other office, routine duties, non-routine duties. So for this, you have to refer to page 260 under fundamental rule 49, para 5. It says that no additional pay will be admissible in this case, hence this statement is wrong. Next statement says that a GS formally appointed to an audition post with the approval of competent authority, which involves discharging of all the duties of that post, including the statutory functions, is entitled to additional pay under FR 49. Now for that we have to refer to page 262 under FR 49 para 3 subpara 2. This is true, he will be entitled to additional pay. So this statutory functions means the exercise of power derived from acts of parliament such as income tax act or the rules bylaws made under various articles of the constitution such as fundamental rights, CCS, CCA rules, DFPRs, etc. So he'll be allowed additional remuneration. So this is true. Statement 3 says an officer can hold additional charge of an ex-cadre post while holding full charge of his or her regular post without a deputation allowance. So again on page 260 in para 3, this is clear that without getting deputation allowance he can hold additional charge. So this is right. Statement 4 says the government servant cannot hold charge of more than 2 posts. So actually this is the basic definition of FR 49. That combination of appointment says that a GS already holding a post in substantive or officiating capacity is made to officiate as a temporary measure in one or more independent posts at one time. So it is more than one or more, not limited to two. There is no limitation in this case. Hence this is incorrect. So right answer is option C, 2 and 3 only. If you eliminate 4, because this is a basic definition, even if you don't know other options, you can eliminate option A and B because it contains statement 4, and statement 3 is common in option C and D. So what you need to know is only one of the right statements, either statement 1 or statement 2. If you know either one of them, you can easily solve this question, and you are supposed to know statement 1 because this is actually the basic definition of FR 49. Statement 2 is little typical, but statement 1 is easy because it is in the beginning of this chapter. So let's move on to the next question. It is again FR. The question is on foreign service. So consider the following statements in the context of foreign service under fundamental rules. So statement 1 says that the term transfer to foreign service refers only to the transfer to Indian embassies abroad. So let's open page number 329, which is under the chapter foreign service. So under fundamental rule 110A, this is clarified that the foreign service is not it does not include a body which is incorporated or not, and it is which is wholly or substantially owned or controlled by the government. Apart from that, it will be treated foreign service, and there is no such limitation that it is only Indian embassies abroad. Actually, it is the body which is not controlled by government. Indian embassies abroad are controlled by the government of India. They are owned or controlled by government of India. So this statement is incorrect. This is not foreign service. However, we will think that Indian embassies are located in foreign countries, so working in them is transfer to foreign service. And this is the basic gist of this fundamental rule, which a student who has read the rule will be able to apply. Statement 2 says, in terms of fundamental rules, transfer of temporary government servant to foreign service is permissible. So for that, you have to go to page number 330, where in para fundamental rule 111, it has been explained under para 2 that temporary servants are also eligible for foreign service, and this was given through Government of India order dated 1924. See how old it is. So for that only we require this book form is handbook, because it has a compilation of all the orders, new and old. So if you had prepared from this book, you could have solved this question, because वन मोर इंटरेस्टिंग थिंग आई वुड लाइक टू टेल यू कि जब आप तैयारी कर रहे हैं तो जो भी चैप्टर आप पढ़ रहे हैं उसके पहले कुछ पेजेस के अंदर से क्वेश्चंस आने के चांसेस बहुत ज़्यादा होते हैं। पहली चीज़ है डेफिनेशन जो है उसकी, किन पे रूल अप्लाई होता है, किन पे नहीं होता है, ये आपको ज़रूर कवर करना है। तो पहले 2-3 पेजेस बेसिक क्वेश्चन आने के चांस बहुत ज़्यादा होता है, बिकॉज वो बेसिक कवर करते हैं उस चैप्टर का। उसके बाद जैसे जैसे आप आगे बढ़ते हैं उस चैप्टर में, अगर रूल चेंज नहीं हो रहा तो डीप में चले जाते हैं बुक में, तो वो आप फिर भी एक बार के लिए छोड़ सकते हैं। अगर आप को जल्दी से टॉपिक्स कवर करना है तो पहले के कुछ पेजेस अच्छे से प्रिपेयर करें। वो जब अच्छे से आपके तैयार हो जाएं, देन यू गो डीप इनटू द अदर पेजेस। और जब रिवीजन भी आप कर रहे हैं एग्ज़ाम के पास आने के टाइम पे, तो आप पहले के स्टार्टिंग के पेजेस को ज़्यादा रिवाइज करें, क्योंकि उसमें बेसिक्स होते हैं और एग्ज़ाम में बेसिक्स ज़्यादा पूछे जाते हैं। सो लेट्स मूव टू नेक्स्ट स्टेटमेंट नंबर 3. Consent of the government servant will not be necessary for transfer to Panchayati Raj institutions set up in the union territories. So again, on the same page, under Fundamental Rule 110 in para 3, this is given as a correct rule. So it is not required, the consent is not required for transfer. So this is true. Statement 4 says lending of government officer to a private undertaking may be allowed liberally. So for this we have to again go to page 330 on the same page on para 1 under Government of India's order. It has been said that this principle has to be applied very rigorously, not liberally actually. So government servant should be lent to a private undertaking. It is necessary that principles of this rule should be applied most rigorously, and generally the loan of government officer to a private undertaking should be regarded as a very exceptional case requiring special justification, and this was also given by Government of India's order in 1930. So see, in first 2 pages of this chapter उनको मिला के आपका क्वेश्चन तैयार हो गया, और अगर आपने तैयार किया होता तो आपको ईजिली 1.25 मार्क्स मिल जाते. सो राइट आंसर इज़ बी, 2 and 3 ओनली. लेट्स मूव ऑन टू क्वेश्चन नंबर 28. थोड़ा सा टाइम कंज्यूमिंग है ये वाला पार्ट, बिकॉज काफ़ी डीप में रूल्स पूछे गए हैं, काफ़ी लंबे लंबे ऑप्शन हैं, एंड आई एम ट्राइंग टू एक्सप्लेन एवरी ऑप्शन इन अ शॉर्ट मैनर है, जितना छोटा हो सकता है. तो थोड़ा सा लंबा होगा, बट आप पॉज करके थोड़ा सा फास्ट ट्रैक करके देख सकते हैं इस वीडियो को. क्वेश्चन नंबर 28 अगेन फॉरेन सर्विस पे. इन रिस्पेक्ट ऑफ गवर्नमेंट एम्प्लॉयज़ कवर्ड अंडर द नेशनल पेंशन स्कीम ट्रांसफर टू फॉरेन सर्विस आफ्टर 1st of April 2019, the total monthly pension contribution towards cost of pension payable during foreign service will be how much? So इसका राइट आंसर है 28%. यू कैन गो टू पेज 570, अपेंडिक्स 2 में इसका दिया हुआ है. पैरा 3 में 28% कैसे आया? 10% गवर्नमेंट सर्वेंट का, 14% गवर्नमेंट का, 4% ग्रेजुएटी की कंट्रीब्यूशन. सो टोटल होगा 28% ऑफ बेसिक पे इन द लेवल ऑफ पोस्ट हेल्ड बाय हिम और हर एट द टाइम ऑफ फॉरेन सर्विस प्लस डेढ़ अलाउंस एडमिसिबल ऑन सच बेसिक पे. सो 28% बेसिक और डी का मिला के 28% निकालेंगे. इसका ब्रेकअप मैंने आपको बता दिया है, आप डिटेल में पढ़ सकते हैं पेज 570 पे. लेट्स मूव टू द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन नंबर 29. ये बहुत सिंपल क्वेश्चन है. डेफिनेशंस जो हैं फंडामेंटल रूल्स की उसमें से पूछा गया है. इन टर्म्स ऑफ FR, विच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग स्टेटमेंट्स रिगार्डिंग प्रोबेशनरीज आर करेक्ट? So the term probationer covers a GS who holds substantively or a permanent post in a cadre and is appointed on probation to another post. So let's go to page 11 to answer this question. पेज 11 के अंदर जब जाते हैं तो पैरा 1A में इसका आंसर दिया हुआ है. सो ऑन प्रोबेशन और प्रोबेशनर दोनों अलग वर्ड्स हैं. एक्चुअली प्रोबेशनर does the term probation does not cover GS who holds substantively a permanent post. So this statement is incorrect. Second statement says the period of joining time availed by a probationer on return from leave should be counted towards the prescribed period of probation. If but for the leave, he would have continued to officiate in the post to which he was appointed. So this is correct. Again, in para 21 on page 11. This has been explained. Statement 3 says the status of a probation is to be considered as having the attributes of a substantive status except where the rules prescribe otherwise. So again para 1c, this is correct statement. So right answer is B, option 2 and 3. Next question is 30. Consider the following statements regarding general conditions of service. So this is again from very important chapter of fundamental rules. Statement 1 says, as a general rule, no person can be appointed in Government of India to a post without a medical certificate of health. So for that we have to go to fundamental rule number 10, as per which this statement is completely true. Next statement says, a fresh appointee to a government service without medical certificate of health can be paid allowances and pay for a period not exceeding 6 months. So as per FR 24 in para 1, he can be only paid allowances maximum for 2 months, and this statement is incorrect. Next statement is, administrative ministries of GOI have full powers to dispense with the medical certificate of fitness in individual cases after appointment to government service. तो अपॉइंटमेंट के बाद आप कैसे डिस्पेंस कर सकते हैं गवर्नमेंट. सो लेट्स गो टू पेज नंबर 27. इसमें जस्ट वर्ड प्ले है. इसमें बिफोर अपॉइंटमेंट इट कैन बी डिस्पेंस्ड, नॉट आफ्टर अपॉइंटमेंट, एंड दिस इज ऑल्सो इनकरेक्ट. Next statement, a government servant promoted to hold gazetted post requiring production of medical fitness certificate should be reverted to a lower post from which he or she was promoted if found medically unfit. तो उसके लिए काफ़ी एक्सप्लेनेशन लंबा चौड़ा दिया हुआ है पेज नंबर 26 पैरा 5 के अंदर, एंड दिस स्टेटमेंट इज़ ऑल्सो करेक्ट. इसका डिटेल में आप पढ़ सकते हैं बुक के अंदर. सो ऑप्शन 1 and 4 आर ट्रू एंड द राइट आंसर इज बी. नेक्स्ट मूव ऑन टू द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन विच इज़ 31. थोड़े छोटे क्वेश्चंस स्टार्ट हो रहे हैं यहाँ से. तो जब आप पेपर देखते हैं यूपीएससी का, आपको थोड़ा सा अगर आप एक पेंसिल लाइन खींचे तो आपको लगेगा कि 75 के बाद सडनली दूसरे टॉपिक के क्वेश्चन स्टार्ट हो गए 76 से. फॉर एग्जांपल 10 क्वेश्चन जीएफआर से आ गए, लाइन से आ रहे हैं क्वेश्चन जीएफआर के. तो बहुत सेट पैटर्न के अंदर डिज़ाइन होता है क्वेश्चन पेपर. अब यहाँ से आपको एफआर के क्वेश्चंस कम आएंगे, दूसरे टॉपिक के क्वेश्चन से स्टार्ट हो जाएंगे फंडामेंटल रूल्स में. तो जैसे टी रूल स्टार्ट हो गया आपका, फिर आपका लीव का क्वेश्चन है, डीपीसी, एमएससीपी, बार, ये सब क्वेश्चन स्टार्ट हो जाएंगे. तो लेट्स स्टार्ट विथ क्वेश्चन 31. अ यूनिफॉर्म अलाउंस फॉर ईच डे ऑफ एब्सेंस फ्रॉम हेडक्वार्टर्स which is intended to cover the ordinary daily charges incurred by a GS in consequence of such absence is called daily allowance. इसके लिए you have to refer to Swami's handbook on TA rules on page 42 supplementary rule number 49 में definition दी हुई है daily allowance की. So option C is right. Next question is on leave. The maximum continuous period of leave of any kind can be granted to a GS unless they present in view of the exceptional circumstances of the case, otherwise determined as 5 years. ये क्वेश्चन मेरे हिसाब से हर साल पूछती है यूपीएससी. इसको रट लीजिए, 5 साल तक लीव मिल सकती है. पेज नंबर 8 CCS लीव रूल्स के अंदर पैरा 12 1 और 2 में आपको डिटेल्स मिल जाएंगी इसके बारे में. सो ऑप्शन डी इज़ राइट. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन इज ऑन DPC. What are the normal and extended zones of considerations for original DPC if the number of available vacancies is 5? So DPC का मैंने पहले भी मेंशन किया है दैट DPC का जो OM है 22 जुलाई 2024 का, उसमें इसका मेंशनड है. So I'll also open the OM for you, but for normal zone of consideration it is twice the number of vacancies plus 4, and extended zone is 5 times the number of vacancies. So अगर available vacancies 5 है तो 5 into 2 is 10 plus 4 14 is the normal zone, and extended is 5 into 5 25. एक बार OM ओपन करके देख लेते हैं. सो मैंने OM ओपन कर लिया राइट साइड के अंदर. जोन ऑफ कंसिडरेशन यहाँ पे आपका है एक्सटेंडेड जोन, ये आपका नॉर्मल जोन. तो जब 5 से 10 वैकेंसीज होती हैं तो ये नॉर्मल जोन है, आपका स्टैंडर्ड जोन है. सो आपका ये पेज नंबर इज 11 and para 4.3. You can find these details. So right option is answer is option C. Let's move on to the next question. क्वेश्चन नंबर 34 अगेन MSCP के OM के ऊपर है. इसमें एज इट इज़ ये केस कवर किया हुआ है OM के अंदर, तो मैं पूरा डिटेल में रीड नहीं कर रहा. इफ़ विल गो टू दिस OM DOPT dated 21st November 2022 on page 733A.1 में पूरा केस एज इट इज़ एक्सप्लेन्ड है. सो स्टेटमेंट 1 इज़ ट्रू. देन 33A2A में सेकेंड स्टेटमेंट एक्सप्लेन्ड है पेज नंबर 7 पे. एंड स्टेटमेंट 3 एक्सप्लेन इन पेज नंबर 527 आई के केस में. तो तीनों स्टेटमेंट करेक्ट हैं. सो यू कैन गो थ्रू दिस OM. इस OM में से क्वेश्चन आ रहे हैं लगातार. 21 22 में भी आए थे, 23 में भी आए हैं. सो स्टेटमेंट डी इज़ द राइट आंसर. ऑप्शन डी इज़ द राइट आंसर. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन इज 35 ऑन अपार. अपार का ब्रोशर जो DOPT का है उसमें से हमने प्रीवियस वीडियोस में देखा था 21 22 में क्वेश्चन आया है, वापस से रिपीट हुआ है क्वेश्चन. दूसरे पैराग्राफ में से रिपीट हुआ है, बट अपार का क्वेश्चन, अपार की थीम पे क्वेश्चन रिपीट हो रहे हैं. दैट्स व्हाट आई वांट टू से. तो द क्वेश्चन सेज दैट रिपोर्टिंग ऑफिसर एंड रिव्यूइंग ऑफिसर्स आर रिक्वायर्ड टू हैव एटलीस्ट 3 months experience of supervising the work and conduct of government servant reported upon to record their assessment in APAR. EL availed by GS reported upon during this period exceeding how many days at a time is to be excluded for computing the period of 3 months. अब जो क्वेश्चन ये था 21-22 पेपर में, उसमें रिवर्स क्वेश्चन पूछा था कि 15 दिन का EL हटा सकते हैं क्या, एज इट इज़ पूछ लिया था. तो आपको क्वेश्चन वही पूछ रहे हैं इन घुमा के. तो उसमें हमें बताना था कि 15 दिन सही नंबर है या गलत नंबर है. यहाँ पे ये पूछा है कि कितना नंबर ऑफ डेज EL का एक्सक्लूड कर सकते हैं. तो 15 इज़ द राइट आंसर. एंड पैरा 4 पेज नंबर 4 पैरा 2.7 दिस is explained. This 15 days can be excluded for computing 3-month period. अगर 15 दिन से ज़्यादा की EL होती है तो उसको 3-month period से हटा के काउंट किया जाएगा. 3-month period काउंट करने के लिए उसको एक्सक्लूड कर दिया जाएगा. So this has to be borne in mind by RO, RVO and also ORU, ऑफिस रिपोर्टेड अपॉन. कि अगर अपार भरवानी है, कोई जा रहा है ट्रांसफ़र पे या कोई आपका RO RVO जा रहा है, तो आप देखिए कि आपके 3 महीने पूरे हो रहे हैं. ऐसा ना हो कि नो रिपोर्टिंग पीरियड ट्रीट करके अपार ना लिखी जाए. So next question is 36. Central government servants traveling on duty in specified remote areas are sanctioned the facility to engage porters at government expense. Which one of the following areas is not covered under this facility? So इसके रिगार्डिंग आई सर्च अ लॉट, बट कोई क्लियर कट गवर्नमेंट का सोर्स मुझे मिला नहीं है. बट आफ्टर रीडिंग मल्टीपल सोर्सेज द लॉजिक हियर इज दैट फैसिलिटी टू एंगेज पोर्टर्स इज गिवन इन रिमोट एरियाज which are less developed areas and the terrain is difficult. So going by that logic, you will see that the cities or locations mentioned in option 1 A, C and D are very remote areas, and Kishtwar in Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir is a urban area, it's a town, so where it cannot be considered a remote area. Facilities of engaging porters is not required because terrain is also not very difficult. So Kishtwar is not covered in this facility, and this is the right answer also. Next is question number 37 on TA rules. So consider the following statements in the context of traveling allowances. The facility of TA for attendant would only be admissible to those GS with disabilities wherein it is certified by a medical authority that such person compulsorily requires assistance of another person for travel. So let's open this Department of Expenditures OM to have a clear idea of the options. So I have opened this OM here. Let's go to page number 2. In para D, it is saying that only when admissible when certified by competent medical authority. So this is true. Next statement is daily allowance in addition to mileage allowance. It is admissible to the escort of the government servant with disabilities. So it is only mileage allowance which will be given. Let's go to same page, para 2F. Actually, it is para G, not F. Here it is saying that traveling allowance has two parts. One is mileage allowance and other is daily allowance. So no daily allowance should be admissible to attendant escort. Mileage allowance would be admissible. Hence, statement 2 is incorrect. Statement 3 says traveling allowance for the attendant escort would also be admissible to the GS with disabilities on foreign tour. So in para it is saying TA for attendant escort would be admissible to GS with disabilities while on tour, whether it is domestic tour or foreign tour. However, certain conditions have been given, so that you can read, but mota mota it will be given. So statement 3 is also right, hence right answer is option D, 1 and 3 only. So the next question is question number 38. So this is also on supplementary rules. Which one of the following statements in context of applicability of supplementary rules for regulation of traveling allowance and entitlements is correct? So statement 1 says these rules are also applicable to government servants who are deputed on foreign service to autonomous bodies substantially controlled by central government after 9th February 1965. No, who are deputed will be controlled by the rules of those bodies. It will not be governed by the central government rules. It is given on page number 2, para 1. So we are referring here to part 2 of FRSR compilation, not T rules. It is supplementary fundamental rules part 2, Swami's handbook, which we are referring. So statement 1 is incorrect. Let's see statement 2. Divisional accountants whose pay is deputable to state revenues are not governed by supplementary rules of the central government for regulation of their TA entitlements. This is also right. They will be regulated by the rules of state government. It is given on page 1 and note 1. You can refer to this book for more details. Statement 3 says TA as admissible to regular government servants under FRSR is not admissible to work charge staff. No, it is admissible to work charge staff also. Again on page number 2, para 2 it has been given. Statement D says TA entitlements of persons paid out of defense service estimates are also regulated in terms of supplementary rules. So actually this is very basic, that why our CCS rules, whichever CCS rules is there, does not apply to defense services. It is always say whose defense officers whose pay and allowances are debitable to civil estimates or who are in civil deployment, and not in this case because they are paid out of defense services estimates, and they does not come under supplementary rules of central government. They have their own set of service rules, supplementary rules, and this is also incorrect. For more details you can refer to page 1, the definition of supplementary rule 1. So the right option is option B. Other statements are wrong. So let's move on to the next question, number 39. It's a question of miscellaneous nature. Consider the following statements in the context of admissibility of dearness allowance. It's the question is on dearness allowance, not on daily allowance. थोड़ा confusion हो सकता है. Statement 1 says that DA is admissible to employees on extraordinary leave in India. So now, as per CCS league rules, we are aware that no pay allowances are given on EVL, so there is no salary drawn, and there will be no DA drawn because DA is given on basic pay. बेसिक ही नहीं मिल रहा तो DA क्यों मिलेगा? कोई भी पे नहीं मिलेगी. Dearness allowance to a GS under suspension may be granted based on subsistence allowance paid to him or her from time to time. Yes, it will be given. You can refer to fundamental number 53 in Swami's compilation on FRSR. DNS allowance under suspension will be granted based on subsistence allowance. Statement 3 says a state government servant on deputation to center and allowed to retain the scale of pay admissible to him or her in his parent department plus deputation allowance will be entitled to payment of DA under central government rules. No, because he is already drawing the pay admissible to him in his parent department and getting additional deputation allowance, so there will be no payment of DA. You can refer to DOPT guidelines on deputation and allowances for greater detail. And even by reading the statement, you can sense कि डबल बेनिफिट किसी भी गवर्नमेंट सर्वेंट को नहीं देती है सरकार, तो इस केस में भी नहीं मिलेगा. अगर स्टेट गवर्नमेंट के रूल्स अप्लीकेबल हो रहे हैं तो स्टेट गवर्नमेंट ही के अंडर जो एंटाइटलमेंट्स बनते हैं वही मिलेंगे. एडिशनल एंटाइटलमेंट जो सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट के वो नहीं मिलेंगे. Next statement says a central government employee deputed for training abroad under various officially sponsored schemes, even in cases of stay of more than 6 months in a single country, allowed DA at a rate at which he/she would have drawn DA had he/she not proceeded on deputation, excluding any regular leave taken abroad. So for this, you can go to Swami book page number 651 and appendix 6 in paragraph 15. This is true. The main keyword is there 6 months, and this is basic common sense. This part excluding any regular leave, उसके ऊपर तो नहीं देंगे आपको DA. लीव के ऊपर D क्यों मिलेगा? तो the right answer is option C, 2 and 4 only. Now one more thing in this question कि अगर आपको इतना बेसिक पता है पेज नंबर कि आपको पता है ये इनकरेक्ट है, तो इस केस में यू कैन ईजिली एलिमिनेट ऑप्शन ए. नाउ जो मेन पार्ट रह जाता है वो है आपका ये वाला. उसके बाद स्टेटमेंट 3 में आप देख रहे हैं स्टेट गवर्नमेंट सर्वेंट के बारे में बात की गई है. तो स्टेट गवर्नमेंट के अंदर अगर उसको जो पे एंड अलाउंसेस मिल रहे हैं वो रिटेन करता है अपने पेन डिपार्टमेंट के जो पे अलाउंसेस हैं वही सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट में दे रहा है डेप्यूटेशन के ऊपर, तो उसको सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट को ऑलरेडी ये वाला पार्ट नहीं मिलेगा. अगर ये थोड़ा सा हम इसमें बेसिक कॉमन सेंस लगाएं तो स्टेटमेंट 3 इनकरेक्ट है. नाउ इफ यू नो दैट स्टेटमेंट 3 इज इनकरेक्ट, वी कैन एलिमिनेट दिस. आपको पता है 1 इसका इनकरेक्ट है, 3 इनकरेक्ट है, सो यू आर लेफ्ट विद ओनली 2 and 4, जो बहुत ही डिफिकल्ट स्टेटमेंट्स हैं. अगर आपको बहुत डीप नॉलेज है तो आप सॉल्व कर सकते हैं, बट एलिमिनेशन से आप इस क्वेश्चन को फिर भी सॉल्व कर सकते हैं. सो लेट्स मूव ऑन टू द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, व्हिच इज द लास्ट क्वेश्चन ऑफ दिस वीडियो. This question I will not be discussing because video is getting too long. Let me read the question for you and give you some hints to solve this question. That question says that consider the following statements in the context of dearness relief admissible to pensioners. So let's assume कि हमें कुछ भी नहीं पता है रूल पोजिशन के बारे में. हम केवल बेसिक कॉमन सेंस से या लॉजिक से डील करने की कोशिश करते हैं. Statement 1 says in case of government servant in receipt of permanent disability pension in addition to invalid pension, DR will be payable on total of 2 pensions. तो DR इज डियरनेस रिलीफ. पेंशन के अंदर DR नहीं होता है. DR इज एक्चुअली सब्सिट्यूटेड DA का. पेंशन सब्सिट्यूटेड बेसिक पे का. तो ये मैंने आपको इतना हिंट दे दिया है. स्टेटमेंट 2, द पेमेंट ऑफ DR ऑन फैमिली पेंशन इज नॉट सस्पेंडेड व्हेन अ पेंशनर इज एम्प्लॉयड इन बैंक ऑफ इंडिया. तो इसमें बैंक ऑफ इंडिया के बारे में एक यूनिक केस दिया गया है कि DR ऑन फैमिली पेंशन इज नॉट सस्पेंडेड. तो ऐसा यूनिक केस क्यों होगा एस के लिए? एस इज़ अ गवर्नमेंट बॉडी। ओके, उसके लिए सेपरेट रूल्स नहीं बनेंगे। इट्स अ PSB, पब्लिक सेक्टर बैंक। सो अप्लाई कीजिए लॉजिक, इसको इनकरेक्ट होना चाहिए। Statement 3 says the central government pensioner drawing his pension in India in rupees but staying outside India is eligible to get DRN pension. Now, वो चाहे इंडिया में रहे चाहे बाहर रहे, गवर्नमेंट की लाइबिलिटी तो जो गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया में एक्सपेंडिचर है, जो इन्फ्लेशन है उसको बीट करने के लिए DR देने की है। अब वो चाहे किसी भी कंट्री में चाहे गवर्नमेंट सर्वेंट। सो गवर्नमेंट की फाइनेंशियल लाइबिलिटी चेंज नहीं हो रही है, इम्प्लीकेशन एक्स्ट्रा नहीं है फाइनेंशियल इम्प्लीकेशन। सो आई थिंक कुछ प्रॉब्लम नहीं होनी चाहिए रुपीज़ में ड्रॉ करने के लिए। सो as per my assessment, we can see that statement 1 is true because we are just giving DR on pensions, which is like giving DNS allowance on basic pay. So स्टेट बैंक ऑफ इंडिया के लिए कोई यूनिक केस नहीं है क्योंकि तो PSB और गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया की फाइनेंशियल एबिलिटी इंक्रीज नहीं हो रही है, वेदर द पेंशन इज लिविंग अब्रॉड or in India, hence statement 1 and 3 should be the right options. So this brings us to the end of this video. For more such informative videos, you can subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon so that you can get notifications whenever we publish a new video. We'll be soon coming with more such informative and knowledge based videos. Till then, take care and have a good day.